Okay, hello there, I'm Dennis. In today's video, we're going to install Dragonfly Bsd. Okay, so I've given it 8 gigabytes of RAM, 2 cores in my processor. I did not enable the EFI. I turned the video memory all the way up, and I left the default graphics controller, and I've given it a 65 gigabyte hard drive. So, get started here. We're going to go from the base all the way to XFCE Desktop. Get 10 seconds here to make up your mind if you're going to boot into safe mode or anything other than the stock kernel or default kernel. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. I was a little late there. Let me change the view here to scale the mode. Make it a little bigger. And let me get that brightness out behind there. Okay, so we've got up to our login screen. And it says right here, gives the date and the time. And it says to start the installer, log in as installer. To just get a shell prompt, log in as root. Well, we want to start the installer, so I'm going to type that in, installer, and hit enter. All right. Now, Dragonfly Bsd is an efficient and elegant BSD Unix-derived operating system. For more information, see their website. From this CD, you can boot into Dragonfly Bsd, etc. Also, you can use the automated application to assist you in installing Dragonfly Bsd on this computer and configuring it once it's installed. Our options, by default, it says install Dragonfly Bsd, and that's what I'm going to do. And again, we get another information screen. The application will install Dragonfly Bsd on one of the hard drives. We're going to install it, and it scanned for a hard drive, and now we're going to tell it to boot into legacy BIOS mode. There's our hard drive, virtual hard drive, ADA0, 66 gigabytes, 65 gigabytes. We're going to use the entire disk. It's warning us that we won't be able to go back. All right, formatted the entire disk. For a file system, we're going to use the default Hammer 2. And here, we can go and make any changes we'd like. But I am going to give this 12 gigabytes of swap. And we're going to accept. Now you can change any of these that you want to, but that's the one thing I want to make sure it's got plenty of is RAM and swap. All right. Warning, it's going to wipe it out. Are you sure? Yep. And it tells you also about being able to, let's see, did I write that down? Yeah, it fills up, the file system fills up very quick, and it gives you the tools in order to trim that. All right, so let's begin the installation. Let's go back over to their website, dragonflybsd.org. This is their web page, and from here you can get quite a few. Go to the download here. I'll go ahead and click on that. Click on the download, and then you'll find the file that you want to install. And they no longer support 32-bit, I don't believe. Download 64-bit image. This ISO, this is the one that I downloaded here. And once you click on that, you can download it. This is a simple install. Go back up here. This is the installation right out of the Dragonfly Bsd handbook. Installation. And right here, performing a simple install. It says type in installer and follow the instructions. Let's see where we're at here. Now it's asking us do we want to install a boot block? Absolutely, and it's going to install it on ADA0, and it's also going to install a packet mode. I'm going to arrow down to accept and install. That was successful. Now let's configure the system. Let's set our time zone. We're not set to CMOS. And if you're not sure, you should select no anyway. I'm going to use the page down right here and find Chicago. All right, telling us that it got set. We're going to set the time and the date, the hour. 13. The 24-hour clock. Rest of that's okay for now. Date and time. Key map, I'm going to leave that because it defaults to US and it's working. Now I'm going to give it a password for the root. We're going to accept that password. Now we're going to add a user and configure him. We're going to give a username. That's me, Dennis. Then you could go real name. And we're going to set a password. Do it twice. And for a home directory, /home/Dennis, since that's the user. And then for the user ID, we're going to leave by default. The login group should create, if I leave that blank, it should create a group called Dennis. Other group members, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves into the wheel. And that does it. Accept and add, we're good. Dennis was added, okay. All right, now the network. I'm on a VM with a computer. The host machine has 2 internet connections, and that's probably why you see that second one that it's picking it up. But EM0 is the one that I want to configure. Whichever one you have, configure that one. All right, so I'm going to use the HCP. Hit enter. It's going to check for internet, and it successfully got it active. What we want to see. Now we need a host name. I'm going to go ahead and be real creative and think of a really good host name. And I'm going to say none.com. Now you could definitely just leave that blank. I just kind of put that in there. All right, that's our host name and a domain. The console font, I'm good with that for now. Remove any software packages. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to highlight return to welcome. All right, we configured it. Now we need to reboot. And get over here and get ready. It should prompt us and say, press any key. Yeah, operating system has halted, press any key. And I'm going to hit enter, but I'm still going to, as soon as it starts to boot, I'm going to go ahead and power off. And for me, a little tip, instead of removing the ISO like I normally would do, I'm going to, we'll go here and I'm just going to move the hard drive up to boot first. So it should boot or try to boot to our hard drive first, but the ISO is still there. All right, start that again. Capture my mouse a little quick. We'll slide this over here. Sorry for all that. All right. Now the auto boot is going to be 10 seconds again. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And get back over here. We've already installed, configured, and we're going to reboot. And we're doing that. And I'm going to sign in with my username. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is just make sure I'm online. So I'm going to ping somebody. And we're definitely online. Control C will stop that. Control L, clear that screen. Now, we could get a problem right here. I've gotten it several times, and this is the reason why I left that ISO in place. We're going to run package upgrade first. So let's do that. So I'm signed in as Dennis. I need to sign in as root. All right, now we're going to say pkg update. All repositories are up to date. Now we're going to run an upgrade. And here's where I sometimes get a error. And there is some upgrades. All right, so it says right here, get my mouse back, fail to execute LVA script string, etc. No active repositories configured. Let me control L to clear that screen. Come back over here to my notes. And it says see post install notes if I get that error, and I did. I left the ISO in there, and so far that's how it works. Without the ISO in there, I don't seem to get xfce4/repos and df latest sample. Without the ISO in there, I wasn't able to see the word sample here at the end of that string. So we're going to copy user local etc pkg repos df-latest.conf safe sample, and we're going to copy that to /user local etc package /repos and then latest sample. All right, so we're going to copy user local etc pkg repos df-latest.conf.sample over to the hard drive user local etc pkg repos df-latest.conf sample. Need to take that. I'm glad I read that back. All right, that should be copied now. So now we should be able to go upgrade and see if we get that same error, and it works. So now we're ready to move on with installing our desktop. As soon as it's through, it's possible it could prompt you to reboot, and if so, do that. Here's a list of the programs we're going to get. And we may be prompted to reboot with this much of an upgrade going on. But it's only a total of 113 meg. And it's dependent on my Wi-Fi speed. It'd be a lot faster if I went to the straight to Ethernet and was on real hardware. That's about through. Check integrity. Dragonfly Bsd. So if you get that error in the very beginning, if you're doing this in a virtual box, leave your ISO there, move your hard drive up to boot first. Then come back into here and make that copy, and you'll see it in the notes. I'll also include it in the notes what to do. So I'm going to Control L to clear that. Uh-oh. Get back over here. Now I can Control L to clear that screen. Now we are signed in as root, and so we're going to say pkg install, and we're going to go for xorg. I can find the G, then XFCE, Xfce4 goodies. Nice. I'm going to need nano. You may not need it, but I will. Then we're going to get light DM, and then all the good stuff that goes with it. The greeter and settings. Now you could get a slim. You could use slim if you wanted, so chose to. I just like light DM. Then I'm going to go ahead and get a web browser, Firefox. And sudo does not come installed by default, so I might as well get it now. And interestingly enough, xdg user -dirs offers all your, like your in your home folder, everything will be, you'll have the documents, the music, pictures, temporaries, whatever. You'll have those folders installed. So let me recheck my typing. There we got pkg install xorg, xfce, xfce4 goodies, nano, light DM -gtk greeter, light DM -gtk greeter settings, Firefox, sudo, and xdg user dirs. We'll hit enter, and when it's ready, I'm going to say yes, and this will take up 1 gigabyte, and this is probably going to take a minute. So let me right control and get my mouse back. Leave that here. We're going to be coming back to that and making some final stuff. 419 packages. Back to the Dragonfly Bsd webpage. There's an extensive amount of reading on here. It's I'll just read the first little part. Dragonfly belongs to the same class of operating systems as other BSD-derived systems and Linux. It is based on the same Unix ideas and APIs and shares ancestry code with other BSD operating systems. Dragonfly provides an opportunity for the BSD base to grow in an entirely different direction from the one taken in FreeBSD, NetBSD, and OpenBSD series. Dragonfly includes the many useful features that differentiate it between other operating systems in the same class. The most prominent one is the Hammer, our modern high-performance file system with built-in mirroring and historic access function. That's pretty much, I mean, you got a lot of read the history. Let's click on that. The Dragonfly Bsd was forked from FreeBSD on June 2003 by Matthew Dillon, a name I can pronounce. The project was originally built as the logical continuation of the FreeBSD 4 series, as quoted in the announcement, but this description has long since become obsolete. For a performance perspective, Dragonfly's only real competitor these days is Linux. What a bold statement. Here we got I only have this link. It's the performing a simple install. And like I say, if you do the graphical install like we just did, they call it the simple. And it basically says type in installer, follow the directions. But then next, you're going to want to know how to install a desktop. I chose the XFCE because that's my desktop of choice. But you could easily get Lumina, LXDE, the Windows Maker Manager, Window Manager, Mate, KDE, and XFCE4. So according to this, all I have to do is install XFCE, then add dbus and halt enable in the rc.conf file, and create a folder called .xinitrc, a hidden folder, and type in there exec, start XFCE4, and it's good to go. But there's a little more to that because we're going to use a login manager or Windows manager, not a Windows manager, a login manager. So let's see where we're at here. Still fetching. And there's, like I said, there's more to that than just this. So let me go back to here, and it's got quite a bit to do. I'm going to go ahead and just pause the video, and I'll be back when it's either finished or real close. Or unless I think of something or I get a prompt. Okay, so it finally finished. Nice. FreeBSD, or it's, I should say, actually it uses the word FreeBSD, requires EVDev joystick support on FreeBSD. So it gives you quite a microphone selection, only works in OSS, Pulse Rust backend. So you get some information even in the terminal here when it finishes a command. So that's pretty nice. I'm going to Control L to clear that screen, and let's look at my guide over here. So we got to edit. Now we're still in root, so we're going to use edit /xfce rc.conf. Enter. We'll go down to the bottom. By the way, Dragonfly Bsd includes the easy editor or EE by default, so you don't really have to have nano. So dbus _ equals yes. Did I type that right? HALD HALD _ enable equals yes. All right, mouse D OUSED enable equals yes. And then light DM _ enable equals double quotes, capital yes, end quote. Alright, dbus underscore enable, double quote yes, pause, it's paused. I do that often. That's why I check. Good edited that out. Alright, so we're in the easy editor, so I'm going to hit escape. And I'm going to leave the editor and save the changes. Control L will clear the screen. Now we got to edit our X session, or actually we're going to create it. Edit .xinitrc. And in that we're going to add start XFCE4. And again, this is a easy editor. Escape. Leave the editor, save the changes. Control L to clear the screen. Now we're going to edit .x session. And in here now, we're going to go /user. This is the path. User local /bin /start XFCE4. User local bin start XFCE4. Going to hit escape. Leave the editor and save the changes. Control L. Clear the screen. Now, let me move up a little bit here. Now, we're going to edit our bootloader, and we're going to go ahead and put in a couple of entries there. So it'll be /boot /loader.conf. And the first two entries here are for sound. Hit enter. So snd underscore HDA underscore load equals yes. Alright, hit enter. SND underscore U audio underscore load equals yes. Now, normally when you boot into this after the first install or after we've actually installed it, I think the normal delay auto boot delay is 5 seconds. We're going to change it to 3 seconds just because we can. Auto boot underscore delay equals double quotes, and we're going to say 3 in double quotes. So make sure I got that right. SND underscore HDA underscore load equals yes. SND U audio load yes. And auto boot delay 3 seconds. All right. Editor, escape. Leave the editor, save the changes. Now, I do believe we could actually reboot. Power off, remove the ISO. Let's do that. Shut down. P now. Get the mouse back. Ready to remove this ISO. And then when we reboot, we should be rebooting into the light DM. Let's see if our auto boot. Now this looks like it'll just last forever, but if you wait about 10 seconds, it will start. But I'm gonna go ahead and press enter. And we got 3 second delay. I love that. And we should see our login prompt, and then that should quickly disappear, and then we should be greeted by light DM. How quick was that? Give it my password, hit enter. Notice that said capital D, and bingo. So let me get out of control. Oh, wait just a minute. If I go to applications, settings, and display, you'll see that I only have 3 options here. We're going to change that. Now, I don't do this pre-install because, and I haven't set up sudo yet. Sign in as su. We're going to say pkg install xf86 video VMware. Let's see, we might as well get, let's see, did I already get Firefox? Can't remember. Firefox. So we're going to get this, might as well get a couple other things. We're going to get Octo PKG, a graphical package manager for the Dragonfly Bsd. All right, I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to have to select Y to start, hit enter. And again, this says 1 gigabyte more space. Firefox is pretty good size, but the video driver is fairly good size as well. Let me get out of here and go back to my notes. We got the error. Go to properties right there. Select custom. Should change it to the session menu. We're not going to lock the screen. We're not going to switch user. We're not going to suspend. But we will use restart, shut down, and log out. Hit close. And there we go. Now, I'm going to bring up another one real quick here and say groups, Dennis. And we should be in 2 groups, Dennis and Will. Now, there's several ways you can add a user. Let me get out of here, show you. Right here, you can go pw sudo as root, go pw group mod, then the group name, and then -m, and then your username. Or I have found this way to be easier here. While that's downloading and installing, we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to say, well, I can't because I don't know if I can sign in as root twice. Let's find out. Not doing it that way, I can't. Okay. Nano, or yeah, let's do nano. Nano, Xfce group. Hit enter, and this is all your groups. Let's start at the top. You'll see Will. I'm a member of the Will group. You'll see it's only separated by a comma. Just like if you was doing it in Arch Linux, you'd only separate your groups by a comma. Let's go down here. We got TTY operator. I want to be a group of that, or I want to be a member of that. I'm going to comma and say operator. All right, then I'm going down again. Games. I want to be games. Be staff. There it is. Dennis. That's operator, games, and staff. That's all I believe. That's all I need right now. And nano, control O, enter, control X. And sudo, so I need to close that out first. See, we're done here. Now I may be able to, I gotta do it again. Control D gets you out of that. Now, we might be able to just log out and have that video driver work. I don't know. Let's find out. I typically would reboot. Looks like something's working. Let me get out of the scaled mode, right control C to do that. Let's go look at our display. Again. But we got more than, I find one, there's one that'll work. Apply. Keep it, like close. Move the screen a little bit. And there you go. There's your beautiful XFCE Desktop running on Dragonfly Bsd. So we set up by sudo first. I gotta sign in as root. To do that, give it my password, and now go VISUDO. And you could use nano or edit. Get you in visudo or vi sometimes. I do. I'll hit I to insert. Then my user equals all space all. Press enter, and then now escape, colon, W for right, quit for getting out of there, Q for getting out. All right, so now I should be able to bring up another terminal and say sudo PKG update. Now that we got some stuff on the system, give it my password. All repositories are up to date, so now I'm going to do the upgrade, and everything is up to date. Nothing to do. I'm impressed. This is nice. And let's see, did I install Octo package? I did, right there. Thought I installed it. If you're not familiar with Octo package, I'm gonna let it check for updates. It's gonna ask me for a password. Gonna check for updates, but this is all the programs that are installed already on the system, whether it was installed by you or by XFCE or whatever. It's on the system. If there's any updates, it says all repositories are up to date. If there is a program that needs updating, it'll be right here in red. So how you search though, let's just search by description. Click on that folder, say games, and you get a whole bunch of games. But let's look for KPAT. There that is. I'm gonna install it. Alright. Click check button. That'll start it. Say yes. It might ask me for a pseudo password, and I'll be glad to give it to it. And now we're installing Octo package. This is a pretty good sized program. Might take a minute. To me, it's well worth it. Here's a icon for your battery. If you're on a laptop, I'm gonna remove it. I'll ask me, am I sure? I'm gonna say yeah. Now I think because we got those goodies, you'll find that you got the Whisker menu right there, and you got a good array of plugins or icons you can put on the network monitor even. Nice. Okay. Close. So you can get the Whisker menu if that's the one you prefer. And just like everything else, XFCE, you can get rid of this dock. You can keep this dock. You can add to this dock. You can put the panel, leave the panel at the top. You can make the panel down here on the bottom. You put it on the sides if you want to. A lot of options in XFCE. I mean, it's not so overwhelming either. See if we can just get the time. Oh, that's not right. I'll have to investigate now. I'll have to investigate now how to set the clock in Dragonfly Bsd. Give me something to look at. I bet it's not in the menu settings panel. Let's see what we got by default. We got two style themes, icons. We got the Adwaita. We got a ton of fonts. Settings. All right. Got the panel right there. That's where you could tweak them out, get rid of them. Screensaver, workspaces. I'm going to take that down to 2 real quick just because I can. A mouse and touchpad. Let's see if we got any extra mouses. Oh, a bunch of them. See if we make it bigger. Yeah, that was real responsive too. All right, so light DMG greeters, light DM GTK greeter settings is not going to open up this way. This is how you'll have to do that. Now that I have sudo rights, I can just type sudo and then light DM -GTK greeter settings and hit enter. If it's spelled right, it'll open up after it asks for the password. And here's how you can manipulate it, make it however you want to. Here, I want to show you, we actually got Dragonfly Bsd Wallpapers. See if I can find them. User, local, share, backgrounds, Dragonfly. And I just put there, let's see, snails. Let's go with that one. All right. About image, just have an icon just for something to do here. See, international, there's nothing. Places, status. Here we go, nobody. Say, let's go move the position of it, like it up there. My eyes automatically go to the upper left, and there you go. Now we log out when this is finished. You'll see we got a whole new look. Log out, log out. Look at that, look at that. Uh-oh. Oh, I know what that is. Watch. We're gonna go other, background, Dragonfly, open. I think it might have been that one. I'm gonna tell it not to zoom on it, but to stretch it. Go. Now close. Now let's log out. I'm having fun, guys. There we go. Customized like the greeter. Sign back in. Right control, get my mouse back. Bring these notes up to the front. If there's anything I forgot. We added ourselves to the different groups. Editing. We had to open it up within the terminal for the Light DM greeter. Now, if you're on a laptop, you might want to put this in your rc.conf file. Power D enable equals yes, and power underscore flags equals, in quotes, -a space hiadaptive space -b adaptive, and that should help you out on the when you close your lid, or when you in your laptop battery. That's what that's for. And then to close your lid in suspend mode, run this and actually put this in your rc.conf file, and go from there. Gnome system monitor. I forgot to put that in there. Let's see what we're doing here. Sudo pkg install the Gnome system monitor. Gotta get it spelled right. Y to continue. And this is not too big here. Depends on your internet speed. Got one more little package dependency. There we go. Let's go get it. Should be under system monitor. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so there's my 8 gigs of RAM I gave it, my 12 gigabytes of swap that I gave it, which was 1.5 times the amount of RAM. Kind of old school, but a good standard to set. CPUs are pretty nominal, under 10% on average. Nice. This is XFCE Desktop on Dragonfly Bsd. That's going to do it for this video. There's a lot of stuff you could learn, or I'm going to learn about it. I'm learning about all the BSDs. I hope it's much fun for you as it is for me. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all guys later. Peace out. Bye.